13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, everybody, and welcome on into Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I don't know if you guys are getting tired of seeing our ugly mugs here, but I am Steve. I got Timmy right on over here. It's too bad, too sad, so sad.
Listen, when the A team has to go out every day, the A team has to go out there every day. You know, you got to put your starters out there. It's just what we do.
That's how we roll.
Next man up, everyone. Next man up. We need some guys to step up now. Next man up.
Well, speaking of next man up, I guess Dave will be along shortly here. Just before we get started on the sports stuff, I do want to just mention and do a little RIP to Lisa Marie Presley.
I'm heartbroken. I am heartbroken.
I thought you would be, but and you know they say 2023 is not been kind, but no year is going to be kind when it comes to death. Death doesn't care about calendars, doesn't care about anything. So every year we're going to lose a ton of people all the time, and it's just it has nothing to do with the year when people say let's get rid of 2022, all these people died. Hey, next year nobody's gonna die. Okay.
Yeah, I just heard Lisa Marie died. I was like, you mean Priscilla? Like, no, Lisa Marie. I said, no, Priscilla, you mean? Like, no, it's Lisa Marie. I was like, get the fuck out. I can't believe it. She was just at the Golden Globes to watch Butler get his award for best actor as Elvis. So
yeah. And she got rushed today, right? To
that's all we know so far. Her mother didn't say anything else. She got rushed to the hospital.
Cardiac arrest.
Is that what it is?
That's what I saw. I saw something about cardiac arrest.
That's that fucking cocaine, guys. Knock it off with that cocaine.
54 years old. So RIP goes out to the family, friends. Children too,
Oh yeah,
that sucks.
You see her daughter? Her daughter, it's like a female Elvis. Female Elvis, fucking same face. It's unbelievable. Summers, Sergio, how are you?
All right, so lot to talk about today. Mostly football. So we're gonna get some of the non-football stuff out of the way here.
Yeah, let's talk about your good friend Carlos Correa. Let's talk about your good friend.
I do want to talk about Carlos Correa. Well, let's start there before Dave can show me. All right. So obviously Carlos Correa winds up signing agrees to sign with the third team of the year of the offseason. And actually this time does sign with the Minnesota Twins. So a few things here. Obviously, he signs agrees to the big contract to San Francisco, 13 for $360. Then that crumbles. The Mets swoop in the middle of the night, 12 years for $300. Same issue, but now I'm thinking, okay, the Mets are going to renegotiate this. It's going to look vastly different, like we talked about last week. I think I mentioned. And the Mets' final offer was 6 years, $157. Which is we have a smart owner now. He knows about money. It's not like the past guys who would spend on a whim or just completely not spend at all. So I'm fine with it. Minnesota's taking a risk here, which the Mets would have also. But I like what they kind of did with the contract. I always say if you're going to do one of those long-term deals, 11, 12, 13 years, you want to get 6 good years. So this contract cuts off at 6, and then they can kick in a team option for 4 more years for just $70 million. I say just $70 million,
just 70.
But
right.
So look, it is what it is. You can't miss what you never had. Now already they're kind of going in with, now the Mets can use this money as a down payment on Ohtani, which would really lend to Timmy's prediction of Ohtani going to the Mets and maybe Trout later on going to the Yankees.
You're not getting Andrew McCutchen. You're getting Aaron Hicks at a discount price from the Yankees. Got used to it. Love it.
Bring in McCutch.
He's a switch hitter, batting the big 210 or whatever the hell that asshole is.
Hey, now you see Nelson Cruz sign. See now DH they can sign anywhere, so their market is, massive. So he goes signs with to go be with his buddy Machado, San Diego for 1 year, $1 million. Any team, I feel like any team should have.
On paper, that team should go undefeated.
Oh yeah,
on paper,
yes,
that team should score 30 runs a game, average 30 runs a game. But their pitching, I don't think, is suspect. But still, you should score 30 runs a game with that lineup. It's baffling to me. It really is. If they don't knock off the Dodgers in the West this year, win at least 110 games, they should fire everybody. Fire that whole organization.
Well, now it's going to be. I feel like you're going to see some more teams with win totals in the hundreds now, because of the way that they have the schedule set up. Because they're not facing the Padres. Are not going to face the Dodgers 19 times. Mm-hmm. Now they're going to face, what is it, 12 or 13? So those tougher teams in division. So like the Mets, the Braves, and the Phillies. That's 6 games against each other. That wouldn't happen. That's 18 games. You guys, the Blue Jays, no slouch. The Red Sox lineup is looking kind of decent. Who else? The Rays are always around. And then
the Rays are like a mosquito.
Super.
They're just like, why are you always here? You're just always there for some reason. They make no vast improvements on their roster, but they're always there. It's so annoying.
Always. They get the most out of everything, right? Because their payroll, it's a $40 million payroll, and they win 93 games.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And nobody goes to their games, though. That stadium. I've never been to the stadium, but I heard it's I don't know if Rick has said it, or maybe Rick likes it. Camden? He's fine with it, but
Camden?
No. The Rays Stadium.
Oh, that place is a shithole.
I've never been, because the Mets. I don't remember when the Mets have been down there, but Tim is the new CEO of WWE. That's our big announcement.
That was you ruined it. You ruined it.
You ruined it. You ruined it, son of a bitch.
Farace was going to announce that he is the new owner, and that's it.
Oh man. So all right. So what do you think about that madness? And this other part. This is the part that annoys me today. Carlos Correa at the press conference. You have the nerve to say you're happy to come home after you agreed with 2 other teams, dude. Come on.
Yeah. I can't even. You're so full of shit, dude. What? You had no choice but to go home. No choice. Is he from Minnesota?
I don't know where he's from. Let me look. But the whole thing of it was that maybe the Twins only gave him the 2 years, a couple years, or last year, because it was a 1-year opt-out. Maybe they only gave him that because of what they saw. So maybe they're already familiar, that maybe they already knew that this was an issue, and so that's why they were okay with swooping back in and give him a deal.
I guess so, but that's ridiculous. I'm just glad it's over. And if he does any kind of, contributes at all, good for him and good for the team. But thank God it's over, because I've never seen anything like this before in my life.
It was ridiculous. And then I got even more scared when they're like ESPN or whatever. They're like, oh yeah, the last time that this happened, it was JD Martinez with the Red Sox, and it took 52 days. I'm like, oh my god, to deal with this for 50 days. So yeah, all in all, I'm fine with it. They got the prospect Beatty, who they were going to move to right field in the minors this year because of Correa. Now he can continue on to be the future third baseman, and then you see what happens next year. Manny Machado's name is now being talked about. I mean, if it's a choice, give me a choice between Machado and Ohtani. Keep that attitude out. You know, I was fine with Correa, but I don't know Machado. Even though Machado seems like he grew up a little bit there, and remember he gave the rookie Tatis some shit about what or something that they did. He took him aside and let him have it. So I don't know. Way too early to talk about that though.
I had a feeling that the Yankees were going to be in on him. I really
Machado.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess I don't know. Like you said, which Machado are you getting?
We knew at the time. We knew that we weren't getting shit.
Yeah.
That was the winter of Harper and
No, I'm talking about like recent, because like you said, we talked about their lineup. Can they withstand that payroll, that money? San Diego's not exactly a sports town. It really isn't.
Who owns them?
So now it's like they got this guy, but can they hang on to a Machado? I don't know. So I heard the Yankees might be in on trying to squeeze him out of the Padres, which I don't. Let the young kids play, man. Let them play. Let's see what we got. Then you start making stupid deals if you want to make a deal. But let's see what we got first. I'm all in for the Yankees playing with the kids. I'm all in for the kids. Let the kids play this year.
Excuse me? What did I just walk into?
That's right. We're talking about letting the kids play.
The kids play.
Does your shirt say
I heard you're all into the kids.
Does your shirt say "Assholes Lives Matter"? What does your shirt say?
Assholes live forever.
Lives matter.
Assholes live forever. But asshole lives matter too.
They do matter. They're very important, especially to this website.
I'm gonna say assholes lives matter. Okay.
Many assholes on this on this network. Peter Seidler owns him. I'm trying to see what his net worth is. How do you gauge this? Like, because you don't know what kind of an owner he is. I obviously he's spending right now, but his net worth is $3.5 billion.
Oh, so it's a mere bag of shells.
Yeah. But in my mind, I was thinking like Cohen. He's got somewhere between 16 and 30. What's funny to me is that all the owners voted him in, as an owner, and he could just blow it. Like if he was just like an infiltrator and not care about anything, he could just blow up baseball. He could sign everybody to whatever 10-year deals, so nobody else will touch them. You'll have Manny Machado fighting for a spot at third base.
A little kid with a video game, just has everybody.
You took off the little blocking, like denying all trades. Now it's like everything goes through.
Yeah. Forced trades, boom.
and one of those games was it Genesis? One of the first games that kept stats on the cartridge. Remember how innovative that was back in the day?
Oh my god!
I was like, let me borrow baseball. So I put it in. Like, I'm gonna have a nice little franchise with the Yankees. The Yankees had Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I don't want to play with this. What is this? This is not fair. I don't want to play with this. I was like, all right, forget it. I can't do it.
Yeah, Jeff. He does not care about the luxury tax. But I also don't. I think he's respectful of the game to a point where he respects not going ape shit and having an $800 million payroll.
I mean, does he not? I mean, he was kind of close now with Correa.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know what the payroll is at now because it was up over 300 million. But again, he's paying the luxury tax. He's paying these other teams to help them make them better.
But
so is the case with every owner in all the history of baseball. Well,
exactly. That's why I feel like if you look at it, I mean, obviously the Marlins aren't owned by freaking Laurie and Sampson anymore. So those guys aren't just pocketing the money.
Yeah.
But still, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of organizations out there where maybe you don't see it as much as the Marlins because we're down here and you just see how bad this organization is, where they probably just pocket that money as well.
Well, I think the big thing with the Marlins back then was that Major League Baseball had to step in and say, you need to spend the money. And they didn't, at the time, at least it wasn't made public. At the time, no other team. Okay.
Sorry.
He's okay. He's okay.
As long as you're okay. We don't want to have that live accident on the air, Dave.
No,
it was the phone calling. Sorry.
See, potholes. But Miami potholes. There's no excuse for Miami potholes. New York potholes are caused by the ice and the salt and all that stuff. Why do we have potholes?
For the same reason.
Not we.
Marlins,
You guys. What?
The city doesn't do anything about it. That's what it is.
Talk to Billy Corbin.
Remember in Kansas City, the fans they threw money on the field and they walked out on the Yankees. Where was the money they were getting from the Yankees that whole time? Not my fault.
Yeah.
You know, don't blame the Yankees for that. You were getting a shitload of money off that luxury tax. Put it on the field.
Sure.
Yeah, I know that there are Mets fans. I know that there's baseball fans. Forget just Mets fans, but I know that there's fans out there that have always said, "Oh, the Yankees are buying championships." But we've talked about this. I respect it. You have to respect what the Yankees built in the '90s from the system, and bringing in guys like your third baseman and Knoblock for a time. I don't know. Your boy, your second baseman.
Third baseman. That's what we're talking about.
And then bringing in Giambi and these guys into the early 2000s. Me, I've always been like, we're in the same goddamn city. Why can't we do this? And it was here we'll spend some money. Here's Mo Vaughn, on at the backside of his career. Here's what was the Roberto Alomar, the spits in umpires' faces.
The spinner,
38 years old, comes career 340 hitter, comes in and bats like 240, 230 for us.
Hey, you know what? Let me ask you guys a question then, real quick, before we get off baseball. Because I saw this today on one of those random Yankee pages. They listed the top 5 worst free agent signings. I said, okay, no problem. They made a lot of mistakes. I get it. Carl Pavano was one. K.E. Gaba was one. No problem with those. Jarrett Wright was one. No problem with that. Who the hell was the 4th one?
Carl Pavano. Oh my God, that's a blast from the
past.
past.
Jacoby Ellsbury was number 1, which I'll fully agree with.
Yeah.
But this guy had on his list number 5, Alex Rodriguez.
What?
That's what I said. I said, "Whoa."
No matter
how much you hate the guy or whatever, there's no way, because it led to without him, we don't win the 2009 World Series.
No.
So I mean, what do you talk? How is that even possible? And this guy was on drug. I want to get your opinion if you thought that was even possible.
No, I can't. It can't be one of the worst signings in your history. I mean, he helped bring it. I mean, brought you a title in 2000, like you said. Think what you want about him, but that's why I was saying. Was his reason? Did he say his reasoning?
He said because of the turmoil that came with it.
See, for me, give me all the turmoil you want if you bring me a championship.
Because even they said that
I'm okay.
the famous list now was done in 2003, and it was supposed to be secret. It was a secret, secret test to see how bad steroids were in baseball. His name was on that list, along with a lot of other people. A lot. That's the famous list now.
Yeah.
They go, well, he didn't test positive with the Yankees at all, so everything was forgiven until the whole biogenesis thing came out. Then we figured out there was a whole new shit going on. So what they're basically saying is the turmoil, the controversy, considers that to be making one of the worst signings. I said, dude, you're on fucking drugs. There's no way. 2 MVPs, a World Series. It's like, really? You know how many teams would trade that a little turmoil to get a guy who had 2 MVPs in a World Series? I don't know.
I know Dave doesn't agree with that.
Absolutely not.
So I pulled up. Dave's gone.
Mobile Davis was good. Mobile Davis
I
bad.
I pulled up. I just Googled worst Yankee signings, and it came up with the worst of the last 25 years. This is from CBS Sports, and I think this list, it's not in order, so not in any particular order, but Carl Pavano's on there.
Yep.
Gee, man, 5 ERA.
It was horrible. Kei Igawa,
And
Kobe
see, he was
Ellsbury.
Kei guy was there. Jared Wright's there. They have Kevin Youkilis on there.
That's fine.
But like Kevin Youkilis was like a 1 year.
He wasn't like a
12
long
million.
term.
He was on his way out.
Yeah.
What's he doing now? I see him on Instagram, like food or something. Ellsbury.
Ellsbury is
For show.
the
See,
worst.
and that's what I told the guys in our put in the books chat. There was, and I think I told you guys too, there was always a concern for me during this time frame of the negotiations with Correa that Correa was going to wind up being our Ellsbury. So that's another reason I'm glad it's done. Burnett, AJ
Much
Burnett.
I don't think AJ Burnett was that bad.
He was 34 and 35 with a 4.7.
No, I guess so then.
4.79 ERA.
I guess you forget that he had a World Series. I guess you forget about the rest of that.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
You forgive a lot of things if you win a World Series. And then he got his career rejuvenated. I remember when he went to the Pirates and he had this flurry of like a couple of great seasons, shutting everybody down.
He might just be that, can't pitch in New York kind of guy. And people still don't believe that's real. That is real.
For sure.
It is a real thing.
Look at Jason Bay.
Yeah.
That's a prime example. I mean, the Yankees you guys can list a whole slew of people.
It's mostly pitchers.
Roger Clemens.
As the worst signing?
The return.
Oh.
6-6. I guess they're just basing it on. It was a 1 year deal. 6-6, 4.18 ERA. Kenny Rogers.
Yeah, the gambler.
So of course, he's one of the most hated Mets in history. With that,
but we didn't lose one game he started that year in the playoffs. But he just never finished the game. That was his problem.
Bases loaded walk against the goddamn Braves to lose it. 12-8 in his first year with the Yankees. Recorded 4.68 ERA, second worst of his career. Rogers went up 18-15 with the Yankees, a 5.11 ERA in 2 seasons. Then got traded to Oakland. And then the last one is Jose Contreras.
Oh, yeah, he was on that list too. I forgot about him.
Inconsistent, traded to the White
garbage.
Sox.
Yeah, and had a great year in the White Sox. Then when they traded him.
Of course. That shit happens. Yeah, so I don't think A-Rod, you can't take all that. The headache was worth it. He won a World Series, in my opinion. And maybe that's coming from a guy who hasn't been able to celebrate since I was 5.
He was an arrogant douchebag. We all know that. And there's not one person who can defend that. Right. He was an arrogant douchebag. But what are you going to do? What's the name of
that? What's the name of that documentary?
Screwball or something like that?
Screwball, yeah. If you guys watching and if you haven't seen Screwball, it's a cool and funny take, and a guy that used to work for my company, my day job company, used to work for Major League Baseball investigations, and Timmy, did you watch it?
I never got a chance to watch it.
Okay, so the part where the money in the duffel bag, that part, the guy who works for baseball used to work for my not used to work. He used to work for baseball. Currently works for my company. And it was funny because I know
Dave's setting up at home. He said his phone died. He's setting it at home. He'll be right on.
All right. There's a mega douche there, and I know that he's close with him. When it came out, I was like, man, such and such was on this documentary I was watching yesterday. He was like, oh, what was that about? Yeah, it was like he was supposed to be doing an investigation, but he was sleeping with somebody, and he was like, oh, really? He already knew about all that stuff. But yeah, if you haven't seen it, check out Screwball. All right. What else we got here? Let's talk about he's coming on now. He said
he said a phone died, setting up now at home. Be right there.
All right. Let's go through the Dana White thing really quick. Terzio, it's called Screwball. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu. It's on something. It's somewhere. And it's by a local. It was done by a local director down here. Phenomenal documentaries. Billy Corbin and his team at Raconteur. They've done like Cocaine Cowboys and all those kind of documentary. The University of Miami stuff. Broke athletes who have gone broke over the years and whatever the reasons are. All right.
That's an amazing one.
Yeah, it was really good.
What was that? Something these guys buy or trust, or it's horrible.
Stick with Stone Cold, DTA. Don't trust anyone.
Not only that though, but Stone Cold, what does he have? Remember through the Attitude Era, his most popular area, he was making the most money. He was living in a double wide in the woods.
Yeah.
He didn't have no mansion, no house. He was living in a double wide in the woods by himself.
Speaking of the woods, that Hacksaw Jim Duggan story. I know we're getting off here, but I mean, it's wrestling. But the Hacksaw Jim Duggan story where he fought off an intruder. What the hell? It's nothing this guy can't do.
At his age, just recovering from cancer.
Twice, right? Didn't he have to go with 2 rounds of cancer through the years or something like that? But yeah, and he's out in the woods. He says nobody ever comes around here, so you don't expect anybody. Jeff, yeah, that they had a gentleman's agreement. It's fine. Just
that's like the Crips and the Bloods, just
coming together.
Make New York great again. That's what they want to do. They want to get back into that World Series together.
Well, hey, there was that one.
I'm one of the rare guys that sees it that way. I really do. Why not help each other? Why not make trades with each other? Help each other out. George Steinbrenner hated the Mets. Doesn't mean anyone else has to.
He hated anything that the Mets would do that was good. He was like, argh.
Yeah, man, help each other out. Look. I said it 1,000 times on this show, on this network. As a city, we are pathetic when it comes to championships. If it wasn't for the Yankees and the Giants, forget it. We'd really be pathetic.
It would be ridiculous.
And when was the last time this city has won anything? That was the Giants, 2011.
Yep.
That's not good.
12 years.
That's not good for a city such as this. Meanwhile, Boston's got one every other freaking year.
In every sport.
Celtics could pull it off this year. You never know. Boston Bruins are looking pretty good. So,
Terzio, I think I did. I think don't say Mets 2015. We're talking championships, Terzio. Don't see they give. Yeah, Cleveland is worse. Yes.
But what I mean is this is considered. I'm putting the quotes up. The greatest city in the world. Mm-hmm. I don't think so, but it's the greatest city in the world, and we got nothing to show for it when it comes to sports. We really don't. It's sad.
Boston and LA.
The Knicks, 1973. Really?
The Knicks are, the Dolphins are my, when people start talking about the Knicks down here and they're a Dolphins fan, I hate when people do it to me, but I will switch sports on you and I will go to the Dolphins because it's the same year. So it's been the same amount of time for both of them. All right, switching gears to Dana White. Mr. Dana White, we talked last week about the stupidity of him getting involved in an altercation, a boxing match with his wife on New Year's. Dave, give me a thumbs up when you're ready, when you're back. So I don't know if you saw any of his quotes, Timmy, and I don't know if Dave, you ready? Oh, Dave's gone. And he's gone.
He's having all kinds of problems. All
Technology.
kinds of problems.
I wonder if his laptop was about to, or whatever he was using, because he leaned back with his head on his hand. I don't know if you got a chance to see what this guy had to say, Dana White.
I really haven't. I mean, do we know the whole story yet?
Yeah, they were drunk.
Yeah,
and they got just exactly what we said. But so
I'm not making an excuse for it at all. It shouldn't have happened. But
yeah, no,
it's a drunk couple got into a fight. That's it. Don't
it
make a
happens
big
behind
deal out of
closed
it.
doors all the time. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
don't make a big deal out of it. If she's not suing and looking for divorce now, then don't worry about it. It's nobody's business. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
So at his press conference, he said some of the right things, but came off as a real dick. which is not surprising.
Dana White is
he's-
up there as
he's-
far as douche.
yeah.
He really is.
All right, so he came out and said nobody should be defending me. What I did was wrong. Nobody should come out and try and defend me. But then he goes and says suspending himself.
Okay.
What do you think, Dave? Yeah, maybe. Here we go, Dave.
Sorry,
Welcome back in, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, technology.
What did I miss?
No, well, I don't remember what you missed, but we're talking about Dana White and his situation right now with that altercation that he got in with his wife on New Year's. I was just saying that. So at his press conference, he was talking about nobody should be defending me, which is fine, great, good. That's a great thing to say. Then he said suspending himself would hurt his employees more than it would hurt him. So it's not going to happen. It happened, and he said, which is this is the part that's absurd. With the last part also, he said it happened, and basically that the punishment of him having to deal with it for the rest of his life is punishment enough. Now, what? So ban all punishments. Murderers. Obviously, I'm going extreme there. Murderers. Just the thought that they have to deal with what they did. That's enough. Don't worry about it. We're not going to punish. Now, here's my take on this. It probably happens all the time across America between couples when they get drunk. Dana White, you should know better than to do it in public where there's cell phones everywhere. You should know better than do it at home too, but especially out in the open. And then on top of this, and this was said by Molly Q on First Take, he's got a boss. He should not be the one to say, "Hey, I'm not suspending myself." What would have happened if one of his fighters, if that happened with one of his fighters? Would he suspend them, or would he say, "No, the thought of what you did should be enough punishment, to last you a lifetime"? I feel that's bullshit. I feel like everybody's got somebody that they report into, with the exception of a very slim few. So whoever's Dana White's reports into, should be making a determination. He shouldn't have to say, "Oh, it's going to be hard on my employees." First of all, that's an arrogant shit thing to say, which we've already said he's a douche. But there's got to be some type. I'm not saying him for him to get fired. I'm not saying him to get canceled. I don't believe I don't believe in any of that stuff. I do believe in getting fired for some reason. I don't believe in the cancel thing, but something should happen to him, right? Am I wrong? Like he screwed up in public. Something should happen to him to at least say
Well, is he
something
still?
has to happen when something like that goes on.
Eric just brought this up on Just Your Sweet the other day. Is he the owner still, one and only, or does some other
This
company own them now?
There's
Yeah,
a
he
parent
doesn't get it.
company. It's I'm gonna
Is
find
it
the name
is
of
it
it.
like a board of directors like WWE,
I guess.
or did he actually sell it to someone and he's still just the president?
All right, it's called Endeavor, the company that owns UFC. It's owned and operated by Zuffa Endeavor, a wholly owned subsidiary of Endeavor Group's holding. It's the largest MMA promotion in the world. So it's owned by Endeavor. So he doesn't own it. He's he's a president,
Okay.
but presidents can have stuff happen to them, right?
Of course.
One thing that Stephen A. Smith said that made I don't remember if it was him actually now. It made a little bit of sense. He likened it to the Vince McMahon thing, not the same situation, but that he went away and then he came back, and aside from fans being pissed that he's back, all is good as far as what went on. What do you? So Dave, we haven't heard your take on this. What's your take here? Do you think that he I feel like he would have to suspend one of his fighters if he decked his wife in a club on New Year's Day?
Jesus.
So I actually haven't seen the video. I haven't.
Oh,
I don't know what it is. Like, was it like a full-on fist? Was it a smack? Someone filmed.
Well, it's a cell phone video. It looks like a closed hand.
Like just. And did she go down? Did she take it like a champ?
No, she took it like a champ, but she hit him also. I mean, it was a fight. It was a bad.
It wasn't
was
like
bad.
get my dinner, bitch. They were drunk and they were fighting in the club.
Yeah,
That's
something was said. Something happened. Maybe he slapped another girl's ass.
I mean, it
as
could have
she
been
was
something
walking by.
steaming from before that night. Before
coulda-
like they
it
were
could-
at home
yeah,
that
it
no
coulda-
one knows about.
Yeah, it could have
Yeah,
been like
right.
you left the fucking toaster on, asshole, and they started fighting in the middle of the club. We don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's none of our. That's why I keep saying, should he have done it? No, I'm not defending it. No, but they're a married couple who were drunk. Fuck, who cares? Move on. Who cares? I don't care.
I mean, it's not okay. I think it's what
No,
the
I'm not
boss
saying
said.
it's okay. I'm just saying.
If anything's gonna happen, he shouldn't be. Especially now that it's public knowledge. It's not like Vince, where he owns WWE. He's the owner. He's the chairman, whatever. Where Dana doesn't own this company. Like, yeah, he shouldn't be the one that's answering to that. They should be asking, what do you say, Endeavor, whoever the head person of Endeavor is. Are you gonna do anything about this? Not him, because that's like asking Vince, are you gonna suspend yourself? Are you gonna fire yourself?
Right.
No, like that's dumb. No, I'm not gonna do that. Like it was a silly question, and if it was one of his fighters, yeah, you expect him to be one of the people that does like, hey, okay, we're gonna suspend him. I think Jeff here in the comments said, NBA owners get sanctioned and suspended. Yes, for anything they do wrong, because they own the team, but they're not the majority person who runs the league.
Right.
It's Adam Silver. It's all these other folks they have, Boardman, all this other stuff that are going to be like, yeah, it's a bad look for us. We need to make an example of this person so that all the other owners know this is not okay.
That's exactly right.
Steve, would you suspend yourself if something like this happened? Would you suspend yourself? See, you don't know. You might be like,
I
it's
w- but I-
it's
but
no-
I-
it's
I-
no
but I don't
one's
think I
fucking
would-
business.
I wouldn't like it. It becomes a different situation when it's on video,
Of
and
course.
you can right like the Ray Rice thing wasn't a big deal to us until when we saw that video. We were like, oh shit.
Yeah, but that was an ass whooping.
Oh, yeah. I'm not comparing the amount of
also, yeah.
abuse that they took.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt was the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I like
So
he's
and
still
Kareem
playing.
Hunt was suspended. It if it's just for the sake of like, if you know, obviously there's going to be a group of people that say, no, they shouldn't, and there's going to be people that say he should be fired. Extreme. It's got to be some common ground in the middle where take a little bit of time off, go chill.
Yeah, that's
We'll
what
run
you should
shit.
Well-
Come back
well,
in 3 months. You know,
I guess
back
an
in-
example we could use is Deshaun Watson. What if we had video of Deshaun Watson physically, you know, touching these women?
Maybe they,
Are-
maybe
is he
they
still
just
playing
changed
right
the standard. Maybe these massage parlors have cameras back there now.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and then the dragging,
those,
Jeff.
those places can have cameras back there because they're probably technically not supposed to be doing what Deshaun Watson was getting
Very, very bad.
in those places.
Well, if he was getting in his room, there's no cameras in there either.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was back in I think 2016. Me, my wife, and my son were up in New York, and we went to a game at Citi Field. And on the way home it was like 11:30, and we were in Queens, and we got off the 7 train, and we walk in, and so my wife and my kid had walked up a few feet ahead of me, and you know this Asian lady comes out of a massage parlor and whispers in my ear, massage. I was like, no, that's my wife right there. She's like, oh, okay. like
They're all over the place over there. They're all over the place over there.
Well, where is this so I know never to go there?
What's the address so I know never to drive by
I need to make sure never to walk down this alley, you know, just in case. You know.
Alley?
it wasn't an alley, it was Queens
Not an alley.
Boulevard. It was Queens Boulevard.
They're right there out in the open now. There's no hiding them anymore.
I need to make sure I don't walk down these streets. You know, I gotta be safe.
I'll get you a whole list of places you should never go.
You're single and alone, Dave.
I'll make sure I listen, unlike Eric.
Oh my God, yeah. Goes for a
That-
coffee.
that- that
in
was the
worst parts of
famous-
Brooklyn.
That was the famous Steve Farace forgot his phone game, right?
Oh my God, that was the word. It would have been the upgrade of my life.
I was at the same game as Steve, and I had field level.
I forgot
Man got
about that.
field-
That was that game.
My aunt got field level seats, and I knew they would leave early. I'm like, I'm telling you, they're gonna leave early. I'll tell Steve to come down. I'll have to get to meet him in person for one. 2, I'll give him my ticket so he can sneak into the bottom. We had like a suite level thing, all kinds of cool shit.
Yeah, no plate.
Call him. I had Keith calling. We left so many stupid messages on his voicemail too.
Uh-huh.
So many texts, and Keith's like going, dude, you're an asshole. You're
Yeah,
fucking
I
this,
got
you're
all
that.
those.
Yeah, and I was like, all right. And he's like, yeah, I forgot my phone. I was like, damn, you could have had field level seats for the last half of the game.
I get to the place that we're staying, cousin of my wife's cousin, and there's all these messages, and I'm like, holy oh my God. I was up in Coca-Cola Quarter, right?
And I was right behind the plate, like right off the field. Could have switched.
Wow.
Robert Kraft knows. He does. He sure does.
And there's nothing wrong with what Robert Kraft did. He was single.
No,
He's
he was
single. He's a millionaire.
He knows about the situation. That's it.
He loves him. She loved him a long time. Who cares?
All right. Moving on to football.
Yes.
The neutral site has been announced just in case there's a neutral site needed for the AFC Championship game, and that is going to be in Atlanta. So look at that. If you get a Bills Chiefs matchup, you get those 2 quarterbacks in an AFC Championship game with no wind, no weather. Man, that could become a shootout.
One of the new fancy stadiums. You knew it was going to be one of those, SoFi or Mercedes. It was going to have to be one of those. Wasn't going to be MetLife, that's for sure.
Tampa Bay. Summer's next week. We spent a lot of time on baseball and stuff. So we're gonna get to football now. But chime in as always, my friend. Yeah. So that's it. No matter what's going on in Buffalo, no matter what the hell is going on in KC, it could be 12 degrees in each city, 7 feet of snow. They're in Atlanta. Beautiful dome. And so I guess what happens, they split. They'll split the profits there from all that stuff and concessions and stuff.
Which is bullshit.
Yeah.
Only because Bill's Mafia travels way better than the Chiefs.
That's
Way
gonna
better.
be that'll be interesting because see that's
the
why I thought it
profits,
was
why,
no.
why would they split the profits? I still feel like Kansas City should get more than them since
because
they're number
because of
one.
this whole because of the whole deal with Hamlin who's home resting, unbelievable.
Because they were handed the top seed. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why they got to share it.
and you see the whole thing with the coin flip and the Mixon's dance in the end zone. I don't know if you guys saw that. So it had because of all the stuff that's going on. If the Ravens had beat the Bengals, there would have been a coin flip for home field for the home field for that game. So Cincinnati was like, well, damn, why? So they were pissed, and then Mixon scored, and his celebration was, he took off his glove, he pretended to flip a coin up in the air, and then he punted it. Get out of here with that shit.
But by the way, I know because obviously we're pop culture pros and we know, but maybe Chris, you don't know. Did you see the movie that's coming out, 80 for Brady?
Yeah.
With the 4 old ladies trying to get to the Super Bowl and all that stuff.
The
hell is going on in the world?
We're gonna do a
Gronk
giveaway. I got a giveaway for that, and my response was like, "Do I have to? Do I have to? I have to give away."
Is there gonna be interview opportunity with these ladies? It'd be nice, talk to some of them, legends.
That's
They are
what
legends.
Jane Fonda's in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Fonda.
Oh my god, the hate for Jane Fonda! I didn't know about this.
Lily Tomlin. What's her name? Sally Field.
Why is there hate for Jane Fonda?
Dude, they hated her since the 70s because of the Vietnam. People still hate her.
But she apologized. I did some research on it because somebody called her a communist C-word.
Oh.
In Pop Culture Pros, and I'm like, why? Because I genuinely did not know. So I looked it up, and she had her. It was like was it altered photo? I don't know. They didn't have Photoshop back then, but there were Americans for the war and against the war, obviously, all the time with every war. And so something with a photo with her with the enemy.
Enemy tank or an enemy around an enemy tank
or
car or some shit, yeah. And
then many years later, she apologized, saying she's sorry because of how that must have made our troops feel. Which whenever there's war, there's a division, right? Half the country hates it, half the country loves it, or except for the Gulf War. I feel like the Gulf War, 91. I feel like that was a very uniting war, Timmy.
See here, it was really a series of pictures to where she was posing with enemy guns and helmets, and
but it was like
she wasn't
photoshopped or whatever it was back then.
She wasn't doing anything like too horrific. She was just meeting the people. I think I'm not defending her. Don't attack me, please. I'm just saying.
No. So, yeah, so somebody who, by the way, always types in all caps. It's always, even if he says, "Hey, I love you," it's always all caps. So just in case you see that in there, he's not screaming at nobody. But he said us veterans don't like her. At least that was a respectful way to say it. But communists, see you next Tuesday. Was what was said, and I just didn't know. So I did my research. I can understand why people wouldn't like her. But
that was a long time ago.
Long ass time ago.
50 years ago.
See you next Tuesday. I like that.
That's the way to disguise it a little bit.
I didn't know that. I didn't know she had any hate. I mean, again, this was before my time, so
that's what they call her Hanoi.
No idea.
Her nickname is Hanoi Jane. That's her nickname because of that shit.
So I read about that too. I didn't know that was her nickname either. I knew nothing about this for some reason. Like it was like an alternate world. I had no idea. Like she's always in these movies, and everybody always loves the movies. I just don't. I've never seen like the hate for it. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, wife of Ted and all that stuff. And then all she has to do is open her mouth about like one thing political. Oh, remember when she was in the fucking Vietnam War? It's like, oh, dude, let it go, man. Let it go.
And I guess it doesn't help that she's in a movie, trying to see Tom Brady,
I know.
that people hate
This
so
is-
much. It's like,
this
come
is
on now.
This is where I'm going to start protesting her ass. Enough with Tom Brady already.
Forget about Vietnam. Tom
Listen,
Brady.
Tom Brady got to be in Ted 2 and he got to be on Entourage. That's it. Enough with Tom Brady.
That's enough. Then he's got what was Man in the Arena.
That's right. See, enough.
Enough's enough, and it's
Enough.
time for a change.
Time to move
On
on.
heart. All
Listen,
right, remember that?
Went
The next
316, baby.
Next Expendables movie, Daniel Jones is going to be in it. Weapons expert. Watch, you'll see.
Weapons
Throw it-
expert.
Throwing bombs, baby. Throwing bombs.
Mhm.
Deep bombs,
His
baby.
he's gonna throw it, and then it's just not gonna explode because he has no weapons.
Pick the troll up. What's the picture of the troll?
Anyway, Dan Orlovsky, he did a ranking of the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs, and he, the Cowboys fans, the hate. I'll go through the list relatively quickly here. Skylar Thompson at number 14 because it's Tua. Tua's got to be there. Brock Purdy at number 13. There's a whole and Dak Prescott at number 12. And when they ask him, 7 straight games with an interception. No quarterback in the history of the NFL has ever led the league in interceptions while missing 5 or more games. Remember, he missed all this time. He's at 15 interceptions. He leads the league in interceptions, tied with Davis Mills. So he's at 12. He's got Kirk Cousins at 11. He's got Geno Smith at 10. He's got Kyle's boy Trevor Lawrence coming in at number 9. He's got Danny Dimes coming in at number 8.
Recognize. Dave.
So there's a reason it's Dan Orlovsky's list. Okay.
Dave.
Now
Acknowledge.
it makes sense.
Dave.
It makes sense now.
Acknowledge him.
Why are you so against your own team?
Over
Acknowledge.
Trevor
Quarterback.
Lawrence?
Acknowledge him. Dave, come on. Put it up.
I'm not
Put it up.
acknowledging Daniel Jones.
Put it up for the Giants, Dave. Put it up.
I'll put her for the Giants right behind me right there. But not DJ.
So this is the one that I'll read because we're Giants fans. Jones attacks the middle of the field really well, showing some high-end ball placement. His 76% completion rate on throws between the hashes ranks second in the NFL. And he has become a rushing asset for the Giants offense. We already knew that, picking up around 600 yards with his feet. Here's where he says a little bit something towards your area, Dave, but not to your extreme. I do wonder if his good is good enough. Can Jones carry the Giants to a string of playoff wins? Which I disagree with Orlovsky here. I don't believe he has to. When you got a Barkley, if you've got a subpar running back, then okay, you ain't making the playoffs with Daniel Jones. Yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Supporting cast doesn't have the same talent as other NFC contenders, so Jones will have to take over at times. Not really. Again, you get Barkley to offset some of this stuff, give him a little bit of time. And we talked about it yesterday, and we stomped you out. So if you want to go listen to the full on,
This is a nice
Giants
way of
show.
saying that he has nobody to fucking throw the ball to. This is a nice way of saying that, which none of us are going to deny.
Tom Brady at number 7. And so he's got. So actually, Danny Dimes will be number 7 because he's got Lamar Jackson as if he was going to play, and whoever, if it's Huntley or the other dude, second or third string, they're going to be below Danny Dimes. So he's number 7. Look at Dave, baby. Number 7. He's disgusted. Number 5, Herbert. Number 4, Hurts. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 2, Joe Burrow. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Let's just go with the top 5. Herbert, Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Mahomes. Dave, do you agree with that? Just the top 5.
I think I
We
would
could go top 7 if you want.
If you look at their seasons,
Talk about Danny Dimes.
No, it's okay. I don't need to go top 7. And maybe if Trevor Lawrence was top 7, which he should be, over that guy in New York.
It'd be top 8.
But I think I might switch Herbert and Hurts. I feel like Hurts has a lot of weapons where Herbert's done enough to get to the playoffs with all his offensive hurt. Besides Eckler,
and he's
So-
Hurts
and
is
he's
dealing
hurt.
with the shoulder thing.
so I think I would do Herbert over Hurts. Is the only difference I would make there.
Okay.
I agree. That's the exact same thing I would have did. I would have just flipped those two. Everything else is pretty good. Allen has had his problems down the stretch. No, I agree. Mahomes is Mahomes, and Burrows is Burrows is.
Yeah,
Burrow's
He's fucking-
been
he just got better from last year, and he went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yep. He's a
doesn't make
beast.
any sense. And remember, he was without his number 1 wide receiver for, was it 4 weeks?
Yep.
And he's beaten the Bills. He beat the Chiefs. They. Sorry, I just was very hypocritical of me.
Wait,
saying
he didn't beat the Bills.
Didn't they beat the Bills?
No, that game got.
Well, the cancel game. That was the
Oh my
cancel game.
God!
You forgot already?
My apologies. I was like, dude.
It's a Thursday, guys. 10:00
Yeah.
at night.
It's 10 o'clock. All right. Overtime. Just a reminder: the overtime rule cannot end on a first possession touchdown. That is gone. That was stupid to begin with. Not giving the other team an opportunity, in my opinion. But let's do this thing. Let's move on to super wild card weekend. Now that there's a Monday night.
Super.
The best thing about having a Monday night game for the playoffs is having Peyton and Eli. Peyton and Eli in there, and Aikman gets to call his Cowboys. Everybody's happy.
That's right. That's the worst part.
I ain't
This is
watching that. You know what? Thinking about it. Sorry to backtrack. Because I thought about this watching the little bit of the Bills Cincinnati game a couple weeks ago. How would they have reacted watching that? Like they weren't. I thought they were gonna do it, and then there was no Peyton and Eli when I went to go put it on.
Oh yeah,
Like,
you're
I
right.
would have liked to have seen their reaction watching that game. Like, I feel like they would have known immediately. Like that was bad.
I bet they're happy they weren't on.
Yeah. I agree.
Because the awkwardness from Buck, and I don't think Aikman spoke at all. I don't know if I think it was just Buck. They were going back to him, and we can kind of joke around about this now that it looks like he's going to be okay, but some of the things that were coming on in the days after with that Burger King commercial that they play way too much Whopper, whatever.
Yeah.
And so there was a point where Joe Buck says, bad situation here. Nothing more to tell you right now, but we'll be back. Whopper, bacon, whatever.
Yeah, exactly what it was.
So the timing, and you notice how many times they went to commercial, and they talked about that they still needed to get their advertising in, which is the sorry
They
part.
honestly should have just played a 30 for 30, some documentary, something.
Yeah.
Like there was no reason to continue to have these guys out there like explaining things or trying to figure out what's going on when no one knows.
And then
what's
at the
happening.
desk, inside with what more were they supposed to say? Adam Schefter.
Once he was off the field and the game was canceled, goodbye.
Yeah.
Don't stand for another hour of when Joe Buck's like, I don't know, okay,
And then they got poor.
Schefter, yeah.
I feel bad for
Schefter didn't know what to
Ryan
say.
Clark.
yeah,
Schefter, but Schefter was like when somebody said I don't remember who it was, like they mentioned just thinking about what was going to happen with the game, and he shut it down. He was like, I'm not talking about that until we know that Hamlin's fine. He said there's no reason to talk about that right now. The most important thing right now is his health, which was right. But then you got Scott Van Pelt afterwards, and then Ryan Clark became like the face of
The tragedy. Yeah, she did. Yeah, exactly what it was.
tragic
Yeah.
stuff because of what he went through with his sickle cell that time in Denver. And then they talked about how he had his team of doctors trying to clear him for the second game, and the coaching staff said no. It's funny because we also talked about that same thing with Tua earlier, where we said even if Tua gets cleared, should they really? This was weeks and weeks back. Should they really have allowed him to come back? And now we know that the answer is no.
Listen, once you throw
Especially
up
now, that was a talk coming up now. Sorry, Timmy.
once you threw up the claw,
The hands.
that's it. Out for the year. I would have had him out. So you're done. Sorry, but you're out.
There's no
You're
reason.
done. No.
It's like what matters more: you getting a couple wins, maybe making the playoffs, which they almost didn't, or this guy's life.
Yeah.
Like
that
that Jerry Maguire scene, remember with the opening scene? The doc, I got to play this week. I'm like 5 minutes away from my bonus. And he's like, no, you can play, no problem. And the kid's like, dude, it's like the 4th concussion in like a week. You're really going to go out there? He's like, he can do it. He's tough. Get the fuck out of here. No way.
They had Steve Young on talking about specifically about the concussions because he dealt with a lot of concussions in his career. And he said, once you get every one that you get under your belt, the next one could happen on a much lesser hit and more severe. So you could take a lesser hit and it becomes more severe than the first hit. The first time you could take a massive hit, slam your head, have the concussion, and it not be as bad as your fourth on a lighter hit. He's got. Him and his family have some things to think through over the offseason because he ain't gonna come back this year because they ain't. The spoiler alert for our picks, but they ain't beating the the Bills with Skylar Thompson or whatever his name is. Thompson? There's no way.
They still have Tyreek on that team. If
they beat the Bills, then Dave's gonna get the Danny Dimes tattoo.
What am I gonna do? How did that happen?
Executive decision. All right, let's get to our picks here. Super wild card weekend. I don't have the banners up, but we'll talk through it. I got lazy. So, first game up on the docket, 4:30 Saturday. The Seahawks at the 49ers. Seahawks have not looked nearly as good as they looked at the beginning of the year. So I do want to say about the Geno Smith thing. I haven't looked to see what the numbers were. Obviously, we hear that he broke the all-time record for passing yards. But have you guys noticed that
in Seattle?
Wait. But have you guys noticed that with all these things where they're saying the record is coming down, the record is broken, this is broken, and that's broken, but they're not mentioning the extra game. Whereas in last year, I felt that when somebody was getting near a record, they were saying more of, well, that was 16 games, this will be in 17. But it's like they didn't talk about that at all.
No.
And
they don't want to bring up the scary word asterisks.
Right?
They don't want to bring that up this year.
Well, I guess it's also because it's the new normal now. Now it's like, okay, we're gonna go on with 17 games no matter what. So it's gonna go like this here forward. Where, last year was the first time it was happening.
So this guy on I can't think of his name ever. You know my memory. But on the Pat McAfee show, one of the guys. No, it wasn't AJ Hawk. It was either Boston Connor or I think it was Boston Connor. He says that there should just make a new record book. You have your record book from when 16 games was the norm, because remember it was 14 games at one point too, and then automatically these 16 game seasons became record breaking seasons, which is not right. And again, I haven't looked to see if Geno Smith broke it because of the last game or what. But I think that's a good idea. I think you do okay. Here's your 16 game record holders. Here's your because now what is 17 is the record over guys who played 14 game seasons. I think there should be a 14, a 16, and a 17. I don't know.
I
But
feel
then
like
does it get
no,
complicated? Is it a
because
pain in
that's
the
with every
ass?
sport. Baseball
Yeah.
has done it, like postseason wise. Basketball has done it postseason wise, where now the first game isn't just best out of 5. Now it's best out of 7 every single
7.
time.
Yeah.
So I feel like you just have to leave it how it is. If you want, you can put like Timmy said.
But
your
I feel
little
like
asterisk,
basketball
17
or
game season.
or because I feel like basketball is not it's not total. But what we really look at, we look at points per game, everything on a per game basis.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it goes on a per game basis. Then I don't know.
Could be like an average.
Yeah, because that's why it makes sense in the NBA. That's why it makes sense in baseball as a total also. But it's been a long time since 162 games. So
But
you
like
know, all
postseason
the
wise,
records.
now they keep adding wild cards and
Yeah.
different games, and now it's not best of 5. It's best of like 1-1, then 3-7.
Yeah, it used to be the one game, one and done. Now it's
Yeah,
a
like
three
who
game
has the
set.
most postseason home runs? Well, the postseason is fucking 5 rounds now.
Yeah.
Really, does that really matter anymore?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but that's for people smarter than us to figure out. So let's get into super wild cards weekend. First off against Seattle. Going to San Francisco. It's a 9.5 point spread now that the Niners are favored by, and I think that they can cover here. This team's a scary team in the playoffs. The 49ers. Very, I think, extremely incredibly scary, even with Purdy. Let's
He's
go with
Purdy.
my
He's
Purdy.
Purdy.
Purdy. Negan fell, guys. Negan
Uh-oh.
Oh shit! Welcome
Negan
back.
fell, and so did Walter White. My God,
Two bad dudes.
a little earthquake in there. All right. So I am going with the 49ers. Timmy.
Easy 49ers.
I
All
don't know,
day.
Dave.
I don't know why you're so afraid of Purdy. I'm not. He's for me.
I'm not scared of Purdy. I'm not scared of Purdy.
He feels like
but-
Alex Smith Jr.
But remember what we talked about yesterday when we look back at some of the quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls. Like Purdy's the Cinderella story. He's Mr. Irrelevant, but the supporting cast around him is insane. Like,
Alex Smith had he had a good supporting cast around him. He had a good defense. That's why I'm not afraid of Purdy as much as you guys.
yeah,
are.
but did he have the caliber of a McCaffrey? Did he have a
Yeah, Frank
Debo that
Gore.
can? McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey's
he's more versatile
think-
than Frank Gore. But Frank Gore is resilient,
versatile.
I feel
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Debo.
I'm not as-
so maybe it's the versatility of everything because Debo can be out of the backfield and receive, and excellent at both of them. Go ahead, Tim.
My thing is, I don't care who the quarterback is at this point. They've gone through 3 of them already. Their defense is scary. McCaffrey, they said,
10 in a row.
yeah. I'm going with the
He's
49ers.
6-0.
I
Like,
would say
what
their
if
defense is the
like
scariest part? That's
what
what's
if
scary to me.
what if Purdy? Because there's an opportunity, not because of Purdy, but because of the team. What if Purdy goes 10-0? He wins the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's 10-0. He's Mr. Irrelevant. He won 6 straight games in regular season and 4 in the postseason.
he's Tom
That's a
Brady.
possibility. Like,
And his name is
Like,
Brock.
hey Brock.
He's the new beast. He's the new beast, Brock.
And then see, the next year, is this another time? Like I felt like Derek Carr today saying goodbye to the Raiders fans. It's like Jim. Maybe it's a little bit. The relationship's a little bit more fractured. But like Jimmy G said goodbye to the 49ers fans last year, and then he came back and obviously got hurt. But you have the 49ers here, but do you think that they'll cover, Dave?
I think that the comeback player of the year, Geno Smith,
Saquon Barkley.
is gonna keep this game close. I still am gonna pick the Niners to win, but don't count out Geno. Comeback player.
Saquon.
Who beat your boy,
Saquon, comeback
Danny
player of the year.
Pennies?
Did he beat your boy too? Faker Mayfield, huh?
Oh, okay. All right.
he beat him too.
Baker Mayfield.
Wouldn't it be funny, like, if the Seahawks played, you know, the Panthers and the Rams and all these teams that Baker played for, and he like beat all 3 times. All right, next up. All right, this is an interesting game. Very interesting. The Chargers travel cross country to play the Jags. Mike Williams is going to play. There was a possibility that he was not going to play, but it looks like he's all good, back fully practicing. The Chargers are favored here by 2.5.
Oof.
Summers says Jags. Summers, what did you say for the Niners? I mean, I would assume you're going to the Niners. But Chargers favored by 2.5. Jags have been playing great. You know, the Chargers are a team that historically, and by historically I mean forever, you can't trust them even when they're good. But there's bound to be that turnaround. I'm feeling. As great as a story as this Jags team, and I actually kind of want the Jags to win to shut somebody up even further. But I think that this will be the game that the Chargers get the monkey off their backs for the playoffs. I think Eckler will have a big game. I think Herbert has a big game. And do you guys remember earlier in the year where there's this guy? I'm not sure where he barked at, but he's down here. His name is Big O Radio Show, and is it familiar to you, Dave?
Yeah, the Big O.
You've heard Big O Radio Show. He used to be on the radio, but like everybody down here on the radio, they got fired.
Is that what, like 560, right?
Yeah, and I don't mean fired in a bad way. The radio down here they're just doing dumb shit. Like the owner's awful, but he was one of the ones that were saying, oh, everybody out there was saying Herbert was so much better than Tua. Now what? But do you remember? Didn't he have like 5 broken ribs?
And he was missing receivers. Oh yeah,
he was missing receivers. He had broken. It was the Chiefs game. Remember, and then that one throw, and he's accurate as shit. So the one throw where he like bounced it and held his side, I was like, man, this guy, maybe he's got punctured lung. you don't know. Obviously that has changed. I'm going with the Chargers here, but I would like to see the Jags win for that reason I said. Timmy?
I have to catch you, Steve. I have to catch you.
Oh, let's go over that real quick. Last week, God. Keith and Ed, they set the pace at 12-4. Me, Rodriguez, Eric, Kyle, 11-5. Tim and Dave,
I went 10-6
at 10-6. Joe 9-7, and Bert 7-9. I don't know. What did Bert do? Let me see who he picked. He picked the Bucks over the Falcons. Pats over the Bills. What are you doing? I think he thought some shit was going to happen. He picked the Pats over the Bills. He picked the Bears over the Vikings.
That they were resting?
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, he went 7-9. So overall now I'm still in first. Timmy, you're 4 out, but now tied with Ed. Dave, you lose a game, lose some ground here. It's not gonna be easy for you, Dave.
I know. I'm trying to see what I did last week.
So say there's not enough games now. So if I want to catch you, I have to make some bold choices.
Bold choices, yes.
So I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game.
Dave, you had Bucks over Falcons. That was a loss. You had Cowboys over Commanders. That was a loss. Chargers.
It was basically the last game.
It was the last 5 games.
Yeah, the last 5 games completely screwed me.
Yeah.
Timmy, you see, I told you should have gone with the Lions. The entire season, you just, you were there with him. tried to convince you last week, and you just did not
Hey,
go with your boys.
I was like, maybe we'll see the rebirth of Aaron Rodgers
The
instead.
ding dongs didn't do it for you guys.
Nope.
The ding dongs let you down. See, Baker. See what
He's
happens
got
when you
no
go with
one
Baker
on that
Mayfield.
team.
Oh, what?
Who's his number one? Skoranek? Can't even spell that guy's name.
First of all, I would take Van Jefferson on the Giants.
We take a lot of people on the Giants.
Baker Mayfield has no one to throw to. That's okay. Daniel
Yeah,
Jones
that's
has
fine.
no one to throw to, and he's terrible.
He's got
By the
Saquon.
way, I think-
And he has
and Slayton. Slayton is actually a veteran in this league. He knows what to do out there.
A veteran in the league doesn't mean that he's good. Okay, doesn't mean that he catches the ball every time. Okay,
I'm a veteran.
who I think?
I've been watching football from almost my whole life. Doesn't mean I can go out there and fucking play.
You know who I think is going to be a sneaky play for the Giants is Aaron Lazard. I think what he in the offseason, I think how he answered some of those questions, I think he's done.
If we're gonna do a show like that, I have a name also. I think we're gonna go for.
But maybe we stomped you out next week as we prepare for round 2 of the playoffs. We'll talk about maybe
about the Vikings and all those other guys playing. Next
Wow, foreboding here. All right, next.
Wait,
All right,
I didn't make my pick.
Yeah, the Jags.
I'm going Jags.
Dave,
I'm
Dave,
going Jaguars.
I picked for you. I'm kidding.
So, I saw I think it might have been a TikTok or something earlier today that said there's a chance, very slim chance, but it's possible that WWE will have to present Tony Khan a WWE championship belt. And I would absolutely love if the Jags won the Super Bowl just for that. If he would take that, he would do some petty stuff and put that belt out on Dynamite, out on Rampage.
Wait, are you saying that now because Vince is back and that's deserved, or like if it was still Triple H and Stephanie, would you be like, no, we don't want that happening?
Absolutely, I think that would be hilarious. Like your rival company now, you don't ever want to,
They're
give
not
your
giving
belt.
him a belt. I don't care if they win the game 73-0.
They
were
just sent
scared.
the Eagles and NFC
They give the
East
belt
one.
to everybody.
Yeah.
They will not do that. They will no
You
way.
don't think so?
He Bret Hart was like a son to him, and he thought he was gonna take the belt and put it in the trash like Medusa. Like he compared him, like he had Bret Hart at the time. He was thinking Bret Hart would do the same thing as Medusa.
No, but
Medusa,
it's not
Bret
the
Hart.
belt.
Bret Hart.
It's not the belt. It's
Yeah,
a
but
belt.
still.
Oh my God, how
It's
crazy
just
would that
a-
be? They win and he does that same, like, oh look, I got a championship belt. Wham! Like they sent MJF out there to go do that.
Oh my god!
Like that's the guy you want to go send out to do that.
Look
But I
how
don't feel like MJF
that's
would
what
do
you're
that,
giddy
though.
about. That's what you're giddy about here.
I
Look at
am.
yeah, Dave just put his life savings on the Jags for the Super Bowl.
Just
Just
so
for
that,
entertainment
we're going-
purposes.
Yeah.
so that WWE belt shows up on Dynamite.
But think of how amazing would that be? Like,
I
It would be
definitely
pretty
hadn't
funny.
thought about that.
It would be pretty funny.
with
I
that
gotta
said,
admit, that had not come across my mind there. Wow.
I'm going Chargers.
All right, Chargers for you.
One day though, maybe next year when they get Calvin Ridley, hopefully,
Tony Khan will do a lot of cocaine if that belt shows up in his office.
oh, he would do a line right off those W's.
Yep.
But oh my god! But did you see that? Did you see that the Jags were on the list of potential suitors for DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you get a Hopkins,
Ridley.
and I don't know if they'd have to. Well, no. This guy,
Kirk.
what's his name? Who they got from the Kirk? Who including me, I questioned that the contract because I didn't know that he could be a number one. But he's been an absolute beast.
Zay Jones?
And Zay Jones. Thank you. The fraud has connected with Zay Jones. I think they have equal number of catches. You hear a lot more about Kirk than
And
Zay
also
Jones.
one of the
but-
top five tight ends in the league. No,
This
No, he's
fucking
not.
guy.
He's not top five tight end.
This fucking guy. All right. Next up on the slate. So those are Saturday games. Chargers and Jags for the Saturday night game. I don't. They usually go for like more glitz and glamour, but I guess you won't. Maybe if Tua was okay, maybe they would have put Buffalo and Miami there. But as it stands right now, Miami heads to Buffalo. Uh, what's the weather going to be like? Have anybody know?
Or Buffalo?
For Buffalo on Sunday.
I will check right now.
The Buffalo Bills, as of this moment, are 13-point favorites.
13.
13-point favorites.
By the way, Evan Ingram is number 6 tight end in the league.
32 degrees. 32 degrees
32.
in Buffalo on Sunday. 15
And-
low, 32 high. Sunny, though. Sunny and nice.
Okay. So it'll be a sunny, blustery Sunday afternoon at Orchard Park. Crisp for Skylar Thompson.
It'll be a shove your 102 degrees sun up your ass Miami day.
See, the thing is that, the speed of the cheetah and the fact that he has played in frigid cold and those type of things before helps him, but not with Skylar Thompson. I mean, nobody's scared of Skylar Thompson.
Maybe that's a good
13
thing.
points.
That could be a
Skylar.
good thing. Why can't you just run the same thing you did with Tua, with Skyler? Have both these idiots cross each other, just do a little dump pass, and hope they just blow by these guys.
It could. I mean, it's still obviously feasible. I mean, look what some of the quarterbacks over the years have done who can't. Tebow, the game-winning touchdown was a 6-yard pass, right? So, but Tua started this whole thing of remember in the preseason where he said, "I can't see these guys. I'm not as tall." Remember? Do you remember that stupid comment that he made? But that's what lends me to believe that he chucks the ball up, and when he's able to see these guys, that's when the cheetah has a separation. He can see some separation, but he can't see anything over the lines, and he's admitted to it. That was pre-concussion, and he admitted to it. All right, so I'm assuming we're going to go with Buffalo here. I don't think we have to go.
Because, by the way, Tua or no Tua, Buffalo's winning this fucking game.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about Tua. I am tired of hearing about him.
I mean, they're 1-1 this season.
He's crap. He's garbage. He's
and then
cabbage.
look at how Tua played. They have him out there concussed in the second half of that game. Threw 3 picks, and he's supposed to be accurate. 3 picks in 1 half after the concussion.
Well, he was concussed, so he probably forgot what team he was on.
Right. Yeah, or 3 of 1 player.
He thought he was throwing.
looking like blue.
He was like, "Oh, they look good. I'll throw to that guy."
All right, Giants at the Vikings. We talked about this yesterday and we stomped you out, but let's go through it again. The line remains at 3. I kind of think that's going to stay that way. And the world is on our side. And Timmy, like you said in the chat, you don't like it. Dave, you said it yesterday, you don't like it. But like on all the shows, like all but one person is picking the Giants. And they point to that Daniel Jones, I combine the two, played his worst game of the year against the Vikings, and they still lost by 3. And I want to say I can't. What's this guy? Rob Ninkovich. He's the one who said it, and I wanna think that he meant the last 75% of the season, because the first few games it was all right. The Giants won the game, but Barkley was beasting, right? And Barkley kind of calmed down. Giants kind of calmed down, but then Jones stepped up, and then Barkley stepped up in that win against the Colts. And surely we almost got the upset last week against the Eagles. You guys see or Timmy, you posted it?
Thanks to Davis
the
Webb,
wives.
The what?
The wives of the Eagles.
Yes,
Was that you that posted that? Or okay.
yeah, on their
So the wives
celebrating
of the
their
Eagles.
NFC championship.
Go ahead. Yeah, Dave. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw it, but go
Yeah,
ahead.
they had a party bus with a stripper pole celebrating the NFC championship. By the way, not one ugly one among them. So Eagles, I will give you the props on that part. But yeah, we're hoping this is their yacht Timberland picture
Yes, exactly.
type thing. So where the Eagles get upset now because of this stupid video. But
I don't know. Allegedly, Daniel Jones was out there drunk as hell, passed out.
That's
at a table
okay
in New York.
in the club.
that's celebrating.
okay. That's
It's not a
okay.
worker. It wasn't a work week. It was all good to go.
It wasn't a
Don't try and find shit, man. So,
I don't know. Davis Webb looked pretty good. You know, I wouldn't be mad. You know, if
first of
Davis
all,
Webb
Dave's
did not
gonna,
look good.
if the Giants lose this game, Dave's gonna say, "Well, Daniel Jones is the one who decided to give the team off on Tuesday, also, so it's his fault." I feel it coming, so I just want to knock that down.
Davis Webb did not look good at all. Period.
he looked just like Daniel Jones.
You're not
one touchdown,
like.
rushing,
What are you
one passing.
saying?
Where's
What
my
are
troll?
you saying?
Against
my
a starting
troll?
Eagles defense, it wasn't like it was like a bunch of bums out there. In the Eagles. They're starting everybody.
I'm gonna go on Amazon and I'm gonna buy a troll and I'm gonna put him right behind me and I'm gonna call him Mello.
All right, so I'm going with the rest of the country here. That the Giants are going to win this game. They showed me a little something like, there's been some comparisons to the Patriots thing. I feel like the Giants, even though they lost that game, they gained confidence playing with against a 13-3 team at the time, whatever it was. So I'm gonna go with the Giants. The Vikings defense awful. Did you find one?
Oh, I found something even better.
Oh
God!
If the miracle happens,
Oh,
there's not a Daniel Dimes fucking troll, is there?
No, but even better, you have to wear this every show next year. If the miracle happens, it's troll hair for Dave. You have to wear this every show next
and
season.
It's blue.
Of course, it's blue. I might just order that for the
no,
hell
but
of it.
you know what I feel
way.
like? I saw it's another TikTok thing. It's whatever. This guy, there's these pranks that these guys pull, but this guy, his wife took a nap, and so she was laying, and women will take their hair out and lay it on the couch as they're taking a nap, so it'll be strung out. This guy sprayed hairspray all over her hair while it was laid on the couch as she was sleeping. So when she got up, her hair was straight up. Fantastic. My wife has already threatened to kill me if I ever even thought about that. Yeah,
Dave.
there it is.
But it's gonna
Bingo,
say
Dave.
It's going to say mellow instead of bingo on it.
Custom shirt.
I'm going to put him right here. Right here.
Right Summers, don't you dare jinx us that way.
That's what I'm saying. He's been going at it right now.
What is he now? I just looked at that. 3 straight. You're trying to do it. I know you don't like him because what we did to the Patriots. 19-0.
Not one.
Maybe I should bring that shirt for Summers to see, the little stamp with the rejected, the 19-0. But I got the Giants, and we picked the scores yesterday. Nothing has changed. First time all season that the defense is healthy. Like they're all like healthy.
It's like so we have Williams, Ojulari,
Lawrence, Dory Jackson,
and Thibodeau all ready to go inside that. You know what I'm saying? On the inside. That's great.
And they were talking about Thibodeau. I think it was Marcus Spears Swagoo that said nobody had a better, as a pass rusher, nobody really had a better last 6 games of the year than Thibodeau. He was like, even if he didn't get to him, he was all up in his face. He was, drilling people backwards and stuff. He's quick, he's fast, he's young, he's agile, and all that stuff. So that's good. That's like that. When you get that news on a Wednesday night into Thursday, everybody's good. Everybody's practicing. Knock on wood again. Greatness. 27-24. I say Giants win. Timmy,
24-23 Giants win.
ugh, nail biter.
28-26. Is that what I said?
I'll take an extra blood pressure pill that day. All right, moving right along here. The Sunday night game is the Ravens at the Bengals. No Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, when he's out, it's more than half of the point output. When he's out, they average 12 points a game. When he's in, 26 points a game. We've talked to Timmy, brought it up a while back. 85, 86%.
83 point something percent of the offense.
It's dumb. Like that's like you are so heavily relying on a guy that you refuse to pay. That without him, you're probably a 3-14 team. I know when you're watching the games and you got Huntley in there, he moves around similarly to Lamar, but he's not. He's 40% of Lamar. Lamar's a beast. So I easily got the Bengals here. The spread right now is 9.5.
Why'd they make this the Sunday night game? This is boring.
I think they were thinking that Lamar might be back, but he's not even
They should
practicing.
still be able to flex it like they do every other game in the regular season.
Well, so I learned about this. So they from Cousin Sal, they start bidding on all this stuff. That's why ESPN wound up with Cowboys Bucks with Aikman.
Got it.
So they bid on
makes
these
sense.
things. It's all the business.
Okay.
So that's the reason why. That's Peacock, right?
Yeah,
I will
That-
say
that-
one thing. If
Yeah.
he starts throwing picks, Prescott, Aikman will give him shit for it, though. I mean,
Oh,
he's
he
gonna
will.
be he's gonna be a homer, but if Prescott plays the way he's been, Aikman's gonna get real upset real fast, and I enjoy that very
Start
much.
crying.
I enjoy it when he gets mad.
Summer says, "Where do you think he'll play next year, Lamar?"
right there.
Dolphins.
Maybe. Maybe he's a Giant. Maybe he's a Jet. Maybe he's a Dolphin.
No, I want to see. Next week we'll play quarterback carousel. I don't want to talk about this week unless you want to do it
QB
today.
carousel, baby. There's a lot.
I'll tell you right now, Chris. Mac Jones isn't your quarterback next year. I know who it is. I got the info right here. That's a tease for next week.
Yes, a tease.
Yes.
All right,
Is it
so
the- is
I'm
it the
assuming
Zapper?
the
No.
Saints. The Zapper, Bailey Zappi. All right, Monday night. Don't say who. He said he's teasing it for next week. Summers
Teasing it.
just
Teasing
told
it.
you. He's a man of his word.
Whoo.
A man of my
Teasing it.
word. All right, Monday night game. Cowboys, Bucks. As it stands right now, the Cowboys are 2.5 point favorites. I'll start with you, Dave, on this one.
I'm gonna make someone in the chat very happy right now. Gonna go with the GOAT to beat the fraudulent Dak Prescott. Fraudulent, yes, you heard that right. So got the Bucks.
I feel like Timmy's going the same direction here.
You know, I don't think it's going to be as bad as everyone thinks it's going to be, but yeah, I'm going to have to go Bucks because I also what's his name McCarthy is I think he's a bit of a fraud. Yeah. Then you
Regular
got Tom.
season.
Tom Brady and them are getting ready to. He'll just go revert to Tom Brady again, and Evans will catch, and everybody will catch, and it'll be good. And I'll tell you right now too, if the Cowboys lose this game, I think I'm going to predict an explosion. And
Gary's mind is going to explode.
You're going to start seeing major changes next year, top to bottom. I can almost guarantee it. Starting with
Jerry
Ezekiel
Jones
Elliott.
Yeah.
Bye.
Jerry Jones has said that McCarthy's job is not in jeopardy.
Yeah, okay.
But
Let
you
the
do realize
final-
there's a Sean Payton out there.
let that score be 45-0. We'll see how McCarthy's job is solely secure. No, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a trend. Jerry Jones, it doesn't matter who his head coach is. Whoever the big flashy name is who he wants.
But McCarthy
And
wasn't that much of a flashy name, was he?
He was flashy as that he had a Super Bowl under his belt, and he felt that if he could do it for the Packers, he could do it for these guys. It's different. Jerry Jones, But that's the problem with owners like Jerry Jones. He's super involved. Owners, I don't know, might think differently if I was an owner.
When you break it down, what makes Sean Payton better than Mike McCarthy? They
So-
both have one Super Bowl.
Exactly. That was brought up today. So 1-1,
Who
and
cares?
then the answer was I think Peyton's a better coach. Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
But you gotta realize that the expectations in Dallas are the expectations of Dallas, number one, and number two, you got Dak Prescott throwing 15 interceptions in 12 games. 12 games, right? Because he missed 5 games, so he played 15 interceptions, 12 games. 3 last week? And then you got Zeke, who's getting all this money, and he's doing all the short down stuff.
Yeah, he's scoring the touchdowns while Pollard's getting them down there.
Yeah, he's
He can get him down there. It's just not running. They're not running the ball with him
because he's a fatty.
But if Dak's going to continue to throw the ball to the other team, I mean, there's nothing. I mean, nothing's going to happen, right? First Take is doing 2 shows there on Monday. They're going to be in Tampa, of course, because it's Dallas. So Michael Irvin's going to be there along with Stephen A. And they're going to be at some convention center, and it's free to go. So anybody in Tampa, who wants to go?
Monday is a holiday for a lot of people, so
yeah, I'm going to be in Orlando. Going to Orlando tomorrow. It's going to be cold in Orlando.
You make some calls, boss. You never know.
You going to Disney? You going to Disney?
No, we're going to Universal. I don't do the Disney's out of control with the pricing now.
Yeah, the prices right now are ridiculous. Even for Florida residents, it's crazy.
I don't know what the hell they did. Did you see that this is a break from football for a second, but did you see that they had this big meeting yesterday and they made changes? Like they took away all this cost-saving stuff that families of 2, 3, or 4 desperately need if they want to take their families to Disney World. Like something with the express thing. They took away something with parking. People who stayed at a resort, they used to not have to pay for parking, self-parking. And then last year they made them pay like $17 a night for self-parking.
Wow.
So I just hope that, like I've said before, I just hope that all these Disney pass holders don't come over to my Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure and screw me over there with that. So we're gonna head there. Maybe I'll send my wife and the kids home, and I'll head to Tampa. I'll cover it. It's for the site, babe. It's for the site.
You have to do it. Just like you have to be on TikTok. Promoting.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we're up over 800 in TikTok. If you got TikTok, follow it. Summers, got TikTok.
I saw it this morning.
We should start doing more TikToks, Steve.
Yes, we got away from that. We had been doing some, we did some Seinfeld, we did some songs, but yeah,
we're waiting for you to do the bought your own competition.
I bought my competition. That's what you got to
do. Yes, and it's gonna have. So you see that the Instagram's gone, the Facebook group is gone, so.
When you do the you should do remember he did Jeff Jarrett. Oh look, there's Jeff Jarrett. What am I going to do with him?
What am I going to do?
Ruben Rosario, baby. That's who you should say that about. Do that one, please. Because he set me off. He set me off the other day, and I was like, I can't.
Yes, listen. He's not for everybody.
No, well, he complained about the Golden Globes. Oh, they weren't diverse enough. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God.
I didn't watch it because I can't with these award shows anymore. You know what? And I was thinking about this a couple of nights ago. We should do our own Pop Culture Pros Awards off season from all the other awards. Like we do some weird shit and we do it like in September. And we say, screw everything after September. That'll come around the next year. But ours is going to be in September, and our ratings jump.
Exactly. But like you said, everyone puts their top 10 movies in. You take the top 6, those are the nominations for the best movie of the year.
Boom.
Of a wins.
Exactly. We mess with them and screw it all. No. All right, let's get back to the Bucks.
Okay.
Fuck
Ruben.
Cowboys and the Bucks here. Timmy, you said Bucks? I forgot who I went to.
Yeah, he did say
Yes, I'm gonna go Bucks.
Going to Bucks. Dave.
Samesies. The fraud is going to go home.
There are four people on our network that went with the Cowboys.
Kyle.
Please tell me Ed was one of them.
Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Gil.
No.
Keith.
Oh.
No, not Keith either.
I thought I was gonna nail all four of those right off the bat.
It wasn't Ed?
No, not Ed.
Gosh,
Rodriguez is next.
Auto draft more.
He went with the Cowboys, but maybe that's a reverse jinx type thing. And Joe, producer Joe, who is a Jet fan.
He didn't like my auto draft video the other day.
It was very funny. So Joe sends me his picks. So when I see that, I said, "Fuck you." And he said, "What? I'm usually wrong about the Giants, so this is a good thing for you." Which he had. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm going with the Bucks here, and I'm going with the Bucks for the simple reason that these two quarterbacks are going in completely opposite directions, even though they're 20 years apart in age. Tom Brady is starting to hit his groove. Evans, he's had his struggles during the season, but he's coming on. I think that Brady, no matter what he says, he's got him and Jordan and all these guys got to motivate their team. So whenever he says to the media, I think he's feeling fairly confident about this matchup. With Prescott, 15 interceptions, 7 straight games with an interception. That's
and it's not like the Bucs defense is terrible.
Right.
The defense is still good. They've
always been ball hawks, I think. Yeah, they've always gone after, like, even when the Bucs defense has been kind of crappy, over like the last decade or so, they've always been a team who got a lot of turnovers. So they might have given up a lot of points, but they're ball hawks and they strip and they intercept. And I think that's going to happen again. So I think the Bucs are going to win on Monday night.
Well, the best thing for Brady too is not having the week off. That would have hurt him.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's an advantage for him not to have off this week.
Yeah. So Dave didn't do his homework. Dave, you have an extra day to do your homework. You need to rank these teams 1 through 14. Let's say by tomorrow on my desk. Thank you. By noon.
You're fired.
You're fired. So we'll get that. I'm just gonna post that up, so it'll be the three of us. Dave, if you can't get to it, let me know. I'll post them up, and then you can tear them apart. Based on your trollness. So a couple days away from the playoffs. I've already made arrangements. My wife is of the understanding, because when we talked about Orlando, I said, listen, I know football is not more important than family. Giants haven't been in the playoffs for 7 years. So arrangements have already been made. So I'm good to go, especially for that game. I'm going to the park on Saturday, which is Seahawks and Niners. There's no concerns there. Chargers and Jags, I'll be back for. And then Dolphins, Bills. I don't care if I miss that game anymore. And then boom, Giants, Vikings, Kirk Cousins, you sorry ass scrub.
Wow,
ass kicking coming.
I haven't heard that in 18 weeks. All I've heard is he's good. He's clutch. He his numbers.
Whoa! I never said he's clutch. I never said he was clutch. Putting words in my mouth now. Those words of that I said he's. I mean, he's the. I think I said he's the most unrespected good quarterback in the league. The disparity between the.
He's
he
mid.
gets the jobs done. He gets it. Well, he's a sorry ass quarterback. You sorry ass son of a bitch. Come this Sunday. So let's go round robin here. Timmy, any final words of wisdom for this amazing group of people that are watching?
Oh, I'm very
myself?
touched. I'm touched by what you said, that family is not more important than football. But you see your kids every day. You don't see the Giants in the playoffs every
Yeah,
day.
but you know what's great? It was immediately understood.
Good. That's the way it
It
should
was the torment, like she sees the torment. So
Round of applause for Mrs. Farace.
there you go. Yes,
Oh, yes.
yes.
No,
Let me join in. Let me join in real quick.
I said it yesterday. I said if this is the game that I'm not predicting the Giants to go to the Super Bowl, not even close. But I think we can honestly win this game. I think they're a bit fraud. That's our word now, fraud. I think we can beat all those close games. The Vikings got credit for winning. Yeah, that means they almost lost too.
10-0, right?
Yeah, so they almost lost those games too. Don't forget. So I think we can beat them. I think our health is a major factor at this time. Danny Jones doesn't have to throw for fucking 300 yards. He's got to keep the ball, not turn it over, and we will win this game. Go blue. Go blue.
Blue. Dave, any closing remarks here for the fine group of people?
I've really wanted a tattoo lately.
Yeah.
So, Daniel Jones.
See, now that'll go
give me
viral.
Give me that tattoo.
We should start with we should start it now, because once you start getting the campaign going, then Daniel Jones is going to be motivated by this.
I might tweet Daniel Jones and the Giants.
This guy was my this guy was down on me, talked about Baker Mayfield being better than me. He's getting that tattoo. No, he's not.
Let's see, DJ. What you gonna do, Danny Pennies? Am I getting the tattoo or what?
I can see it now. I can see the broadcast of Giants holding up the trophy, and me on the phone with my tattoo guy going, "Get it ready." He's flying up. Get it ready.
Yeah, I would make sure that I would get that week off to go actually to the parade, and before the parade, go get that tattoo.
Yes, I can't wait.
Listen,
I just like forcing people to get tattoos, so it doesn't matter what kind. But that's awesome.
so this is the one that we're most confident about, obviously. But I also think that the Giants can beat the Bucks. I don't care about this GOAT nonsense. I think that the Bucks are beatable by the Giants, not by everybody. I think it's a matchup thing. But the way that we've been getting after the quarterback, that's the way you ruffle Mr. Thomas Brady. We know that very well. Like I said, I'm scared of the 49ers. I'm not scared of the Seahawks. I don't think they'll even come close to the Niners. What was that?
I'm afraid of Geno.
You're afraid of Geno? And then the Eagles. This guy's hurt. Dude, I don't know. This guy's hurt.
It's a toss-up, I think, with them. I feel like it's one of those, like, if we are able to handle the Vikings easily and we go into that game into Philadelphia with that momentum, I feel like, yeah, we can beat them. Like we did when we beat the Bucks, Jeff Garcia Bucks. We went into that next game with momentum where no one thought we were going to beat that Cowboys team, and we went and we beat them.
I was scared of the Bucks back then because of what Giants playoffs looked like under Eli for the first couple of games.
Sure.
Yeah, and then we talked about that yesterday. Any Giants fans out there, look at or watch or listen to We Stomped You Out. We talked about that yesterday and how
what
Dave
episode
thinks
was
that
it?
Dimes is the greatest of all time.
Calm down. What episode number was that?
It was episode. The episode number or the length of the schedule of the show.
Oh, I thought you said it was the number of the episode.
No, it was the length of the show yesterday.
The length of the show.
This is Super Bowl. Super Bowl 57 is what's coming up. The length of our "We Stomped You Out" show yesterday was exactly 57 minutes on the dot. If
First
that's
playoff
not
episode
if
too.
that's not like good omen, I don't know what it is.
It's true.
I don't know.
I'll
what
roll
it
with
is.
it. I'll roll with it.
I think we just got to keep it that number from now. If they keep winning, just keep it that number. We don't go at
Yesterday's
57. We just end the episode.
Yesterday's episode number was number 8
Well, of the season.
of the season. Yes,
But in
number
total?
8 of the season. Yeah, because we took a little bit of time off. Number 8, Dave.
No, but I'm
Who's
saying, do
number
you know
8,
what
Dave?
the total like?
Oh. No, we're not. We're in the 60s. We're in the 60s for that. Episode number 8, Danny Dimes. Number 8. Just saying, like, the stars are lining up, baby. All right, so that'll do it for us here this week on Sportsmanlike Conduct. Head over to popculturepros.com. Bert's review of Plane is up. Shotgun Wedding now is an opportunity for you guys to see it in Miami. And I talked about that on TikTok this morning. Everything that Jennifer Lopez does is wedding, engagement rings in real life, maid, it's all this stuff. There's always marriages going on, and now you got shotgun wedding
planner. I mean, that's
wedding
been her
planner.
shtick. That's her
Ridiculous
gimmick.
already.
Can I,
Yeah,
can I
she
take
was-
a-
She
can I
lives
take
the
a guess?
gimmick.
Yes, she does. Can I take a
Yeah.
guess? I bet Bert loved the movie.
I don't want to give anything away, but he didn't hate the movie. Oh wait, Shotgun Wedding he didn't see. No, you're talking about Plane.
Talking about Plane.
Plane. He actually it's getting good reviews from critics.
Oh no,
at
I'm
70.
not knocking the movie. I'm just saying Bert
gave it-
doesn't
he-
like he doesn't
he doesn't
dislike
not like
anything.
Yes, he gave it 3.5 stars.
He just loves the fucking movies. You can literally throw up anything on that screen. He'll be like, greatest movie ever.
Been to movies and where he's like I've sat next to him. What was that movie? The war movie that I hated with the ticking. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
I hated Dunkirk. Hated it. It was like applauded by critics, like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. I hated it. There was a ticking going on that I still have in my head. And I look over at Bert next to me, and he's like leaning forward, like, oh my god, like what's happening next? I'm like, I can't get this ticking out of my head, and you're like,
Him and Kyle had Babylon and Amsterdam, two of the most blasted bombs of the year. And both of them have them on their top 10 list. And again, I'm not knocking it because you like what you like, but
yeah.
Wait, Babylon wasn't good?
it got blasted as one of the worst movies,
It would,
critic wise.
yeah.
Damn,
But
that's
we
amazing.
all know that sometimes critics can
Oh,
take
yeah,
it to
no.
a weird,
Look,
shitty
plus you
level.
like what you like.
Yeah, exactly. And we all have our crappy movies that got shit on that we like. That we'll watch
I like Breaking 1 and 2 better than I like Black Adam. So I mean that does show you exactly where my head is.
And Adam Sandler hasn't made a bad movie since I don't even know when. So
It's up to your own choice.
That's a little sus, Dave. A little sus there.
he's made one bad movie in the last like 15 years, and that's Jack and Jill. But besides that, everything
Jackson
else has
Dill
been
was
hit.
terrible. No,
It was.
Zohan
Grown-ups?
was bad. Zohan was bad.
Grown-ups was good. Zohan was hilarious.
the opening
Hotel
scene to Grown Ups
Transylvania?
2 was a deer walking into the cabin to take a piss in his dresser. I never watched that. I never
love
watched
Grown-Ups.
that.
I love
Stone
Grown-Ups.
Cold
But
Steve
did you-
Austin is in part
Grown-Ups
2.
too?
Come on now.
Yeah, Grown-Ups 2 is
Listen,
Stone Cold.
Grown Ups 2, I saw the opening scene and I shut it off. I couldn't do it.
Grown-Ups 2. I like the Grown-Ups movies. Both of them.
Yeah.
I don't hate like a Grown Ups. The first Grown Ups it's not a good movie, but it's a fun fun type, which is frowned upon. The word fun in this industry. No, to have fun at the movies.
Well, that's
Cinema.
what Bert said. Bert said it's fun, and I was like, fun? That doesn't mean
That's
good.
death. Exactly. Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of fun movies out there that are not good movies. So,
That's true.
yeah. So I think that's it as far as contests are concerned on Pop Culture Pro. I think we still have missing up there. and that's for Miami, and I think also in Phoenix and Vegas. So those are your opportunities. A lot more to come. This is like horror season. This is like horror season B is January.
See, wait, one more thing. I know I'm gonna keep bringing it up, but all I want from Bert one time. See, I have the reputation of being the angry fucking guy because like this guy don't like what I don't like. I want him to be me one day. I want him to come out of the movie and go, "Wow, that fucking sucked!" Like just go into a rampage. Then I'm like, dude, now we're on the same level, me and you, Bert. Love it.
I'm pretty sure Bert is that guy that everyone from the studio wants to get like
Wants to
to
review.
talk to right after. Like, hey, Gil, can you make sure you talk to us after the movie?
Yeah,
we need
exactly.
to know what you thought. I used to hate being that person. By the way,
Did you?
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't want to tell you how much I hated this movie.
Yeah.
I told it, that Tim, when you go to the press screenings, when the press people are coming out, they make sure and snag the people that are from the studio, snag you. What'd you think? So for quick reactions, they got to send it back to the theater. And there were just ones that, and I could name a bunch of them, but there were just ones that you walk out and you kind of walk to the left side of the aisle, so you don't
take
make eye contact.
You take your badge off and hide it. Like,
Yeah,
oh, no,
you just go walk by and stuff. But if they caught me, I mean, I wouldn't tell them. I wouldn't lie to them. I would say that fucking sucked.
See, that's where I would be good. That's where I would be very good.
I couldn't.
That's terrible.
Steve, get New York, please. That's exactly where
I don't know
perfect.
I don't know what the hell's with New York. They say they do their things weird. I don't know.
That's just that should be our state motto. We do things weird.
We
That's
do
awesome.
things weird.
It's like he just has to show up and act like a critic, and he's good. He'll go right on in.
Yeah,
I've been to screenings, but just not as a press. But I've been to Deadpool when Ryan Reynolds showed up. It was fucking. I went with Ed and his wife. Pitch Perfect. I was at, but I would if someone would have asked me, I would love to have gotten to that whole thing. I would have had a blast.
Yeah,
especially Pitch Perfect because I'm a.
Yeah, Pitch Perfect. Try watching. I'll name you a movie right here that I'm shooting right here. We had a little thing. If it was just too sweet to say Mellow Shoots. I went to go see a movie called The Grand Seduction in Aventura.
in Miami.
Yeah, try talking about that movie afterwards with these studio people and being like, yeah, that movie was not that bad.
No, I would be honest. I would be super. I'd be too honest. Like you can't come back ever again to another screening. I'll be like, okay, but I shit on your movie.
It's like
There was one. I don't know if it was 4. It was a family thing of Paranormal Activity 4. It was 4. So I went to go see that, and we had multiple screenings going on that day. So there was 3 of us going to 3 separate screenings. I went to that one for some I don't know what reason, and it's in freaking North Cuba, Sunset, Dave. And I sat through that thing by myself, and it was one of the worst pieces of shit movies that I've ever seen.
Wait, like there was no one else in there, or like you were just, but you were.
No, I mean by myself in the. No, there was like 3 critics there, and a bunch of horror fanatics that will love any type of horror, no matter what is going on. It was awful, and I let them know that. I said, this drive. Back then, I would go straight from work there, and it would take me 2 hours. 2 hours to get there. Palmetto bullshit. What are you doing? Stupid.
It's even worse now.
I never want to see that place again. And Aventura, I won't go there holiday season. Hell no.
You're never finding parking there.
No.
Just imagine if they would have stopped me at Wonder Woman 84.
They would have canceled Pop Culture Fools.
No. I might have saved everyone from having to see that movie.
Might want to record this.
They would have been like, "Oh my god, it's that bad," and I would have said, "Yes, it's."
They would have got rid of her back then.
I would have said, "Don't release this movie
then.
into theaters because you're gonna kill people with this movie." I definitely would. I would have saved the DC universe if they would have let me in the press screening.
Henry Cavill will still have a job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Affleck would still be Batman, and we'd all be in a good place right now. But nope, not anymore. Now supposedly Elliot Page is going to be Superman, and I will blow my fucking
Wait,
brains
what?
out if that's the case.
No, that can't be a thing.
That's a thing. Look it up. That's a thing. Google it.
Oh, what happened to the days where Michael B. Jordan was gonna be Superman?
Nope. Oh, there's going to be a Black Superman too. It's separate from the new universe. Because, God forbid they do something. Just like the Batman is not part of the DC universe. They're going to have two Batman, two Superman.
Or Joker.
Yeah, they're going to have all that stuff.
It's like, haven't they noticed that those have been like the more successful ones?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
They're stupid.
I don't get it.
All right, that'll do it for us.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
Popculturepros.com. Subscribe to us wherever you are on social media. If you listen to us, if you'd rather listen to us on your 2-hour car ride to a screening, you may do that also on all the major podcast platforms. And we will see you guys next week, and we'll see where everybody is in the very all important standings. Until then, peace out, everybody.